It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Fielded near the back of the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Back at the 22-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Chicago.
To number 14.
A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
First and 10.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it with Williams. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
third down. He'll drop to throw. Bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
At the 17.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 catches, 126 yards, and a trip to the end. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
7. Vikings, nothing.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
At the 47-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now they go screen. It's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
Tucker McKinnon set to kick off.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Yeah, he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
38, the ball carrier.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You may also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Play to the running back. He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
7-7, our score after 1.
Score tied 7-7.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to go on top for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
McCann's got it teed up. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Brought down at the 28-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards, 1st down Vikings.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flush to his right. It is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy. Yeah,
I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Taken in at the 3. Just out past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Receiving team.
That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Now Williams. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On the ground, this is Williams. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play for the Vikings on third down. 48 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
28-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Evades the tackler, and now some space. All the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That was a heck of a sprint. Tried to get to the end zone, didn't quite get there, just short out of bounds at the 2-yard line. I know the defense is relieved he didn't get to the end zone, and the guy who was carrying the ball a little frustrated. He didn't make it all the way.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for, they got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And what do you think goes on here in this situation?
Figure.
Him take that hit.
Hit him. There's the penalty.
He's got the first down and more.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Go down, sacked back at the 31. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. To throw on 3rd down, Herbert. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Operating from the gun. Herbert. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it.
Bears 14.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Over 1st and 10. At their own 29-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. They start the second half here with Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. A solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let them get to the 2nd level because...
Taken down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.